Story. The first time I met her, she didn't speak a word. Her eyes, a strange mix of violet and gold, did all the talking. The ship I was on, the Orion's Wing, had crash-landed on Varelia, a planet known only in whispered rumors across the exploration channels. The scanners had called it habitable, but that was all. No known civilization. No communication channels. Nothing but silence and endless, glowing forests. Except there was someone here. And she had been watching me since the crash. Beginning. My escape pod was half buried in glowing sand. The forest stretched endlessly, each leaf shimmering faintly in the bioluminescent light. I'd been walking for what felt like hours before I found the ruins. Stone walls carved with symbols I didn't recognize, their edges pulsing faintly like veins of light. That's where I first saw her. She stepped from the shadows, tall, graceful, her hair floating slightly as if gravity meant little to her. Her skin had the pale shimmer of moonlight. She wore what looked like armor, though it pulsed gently like it was alive. "Human," she said softly, her voice echoing in my mind more than in my ears. "You shouldn't be here." Her words froze me. "You speak English." She tilted her head. "I learn fast." Her name, she told me later, was Sarai. She was a Varelian, or what was left of one. Her people were ancient, long forgotten. Their empire vanished before humanity even learned to look to the stars. She had been alone here for centuries, guarding the remnants of what once was her home. When I asked what she was guarding, she simply said, "Memories. And promises that cannot be broken." That night, she led me to a small, crystalline shelter, not made of metal, but something that grew like coral from the ground itself. The air was warm. There was no fire, yet the light danced around us. "You're helping me," I said, confused. "Why?" Sarai looked at me for a long moment. "Because I remember what it feels like to be lost." Middle. Days turned into weeks. I helped her repair ancient conduits that kept her world alive, and she helped me patch my ship's communication core. Every moment with her felt unreal, like being caught in a dream that refused to fade. The more time I spent with her, the more human she seemed, and the more alien I felt. She would ask me endless questions about Earth, about oceans, rain, laughter, music, things I had always taken for granted. And when she smiled, something stirred inside me I hadn't felt in years, a sense of belonging. One night, while calibrating my distress beacon under the glowing canopy, I caught her watching me again. "You look at me like you're studying me," I said. She blinked slowly. "I am trying to understand why humans are so fragile, yet so persistent." Chuckled. "You sound like you admire it." "Perhaps I do," she said softly. "Or perhaps I envy it." Her words lingered long after she turned away. 2 nights later, I woke to find her standing outside my shelter. The air shimmered faintly around her, her form glowing against the silver-blue sky. "You dream loudly," she said. "I what?" "In your mind. I can hear it." She stepped closer, her eyes glowing faintly. "You dream of home. Of belonging." I swallowed hard. "Yeah, I miss it." She hesitated. Then, with a voice barely above a whisper, she said, "I wish you belonged to me." The words hit like gravity itself, pulling me back down. I couldn't speak, couldn't move. Her expression was unreadable, part sadness, part longing, part something deeper, ancient. "Sarai," I began, but she shook her head. "I shouldn't have said that," she murmured. "It is forbidden. My kind, we are not meant to connect. But you." She paused, her voice trembling. "You make me remember what it was like to feel." The following days were awkward. She avoided me, speaking only when necessary. I spent my time trying to fix the transmitter, but my thoughts were stuck on her words. She wished I belonged to her. What did that even mean? I tried to focus on logic, on survival, but the way she looked at me, the way her presence filled every quiet space, it made logic impossible. Then one morning, I found her standing at the edge of the ancient ruins. Her armor was cracked, and her right arm shimmered as if fading. She looked weaker, almost translucent. "Sarai, what happened?" I ran to her. She smiled faintly. "The power that sustains me is fading. The network, the old energy, it's collapsing." I stared at her. "There's gotta be something we can do." "There is," she said quietly. "But it will require more than you're ready to give." She turned to face the ruins, where a massive crystal pulsed faintly beneath the surface. "That core keeps this world alive. If I merge with it, the world will endure, but I will not." "No," I said sharply. "You're not doing that." She looked at me sadly. "You don't understand. I was never meant to exist this long. I'm a guardian, a memory of what once was." "Sarai." She reached out, her hand brushing against my cheek. The touch sent a wave of warmth through me, deeper than anything I'd felt before. "Humans chase survival," she whispered. "We chase meaning. Maybe both are the same." Her hand lingered there, and for a moment she looked more alive than ever. Ending. That night, the sky began to collapse. The luminous forests flickered, the ground trembled. The crystal core beneath the ruins started pulsing violently, as if the planet itself was gasping for breath. Sarai stood at the center, her armor glowing brighter than I'd ever seen. "You need to leave," she said. "Now." "I'm not leaving you," I said, stepping closer. "You don't belong here, human." I shook my head. "You said you wished I did." That made her pause. Her eyes softened, and for the first time she smiled. Not the calm, distant smile she always wore, but something real, something human. "Then stay," she whispered. She took my hand and placed it over her heart. It pulsed softly, like light itself had rhythm. The moment our skin touched, energy rippled outward. Memories not my own flooded through me. Visions of stars collapsing, cities made of crystal, oceans that sang. Her world, her people, her loneliness. When I opened my eyes again, I was surrounded by light. She was merging with the core, her form dissolving into streams of glowing energy. I tried to pull her back, but she stopped me with one last thought, pressed into my mind like a heartbeat. "Now you will always belong here." And then silence. I woke up hours later, lying in the middle of the ruins. The forest had changed. Brighter, alive again. Flowers bloomed in colors I couldn't name, and the air was thick with warmth and peace. But she was gone. All that remained was a faint shimmer in the air, and the whisper of her voice echoing in my mind. "You were never meant to stay lost." I found my way back to my repaired ship days later. As it lifted off, I looked down one last time, at the glowing forests and the ruins now shining like stars from the planet's surface. Something in my chest ached, because even though I was heading home, a part of me knew the truth. I did belong somewhere, just not where I came from. Years later, when I returned to the exploration fleet, my crew said I'd been gone only 2 days. But I remembered weeks, months maybe. Time worked differently there. They laughed when I told them the story of Sarai, the alien guardian who wished I belonged to her. But I didn't laugh. Because sometimes when I close my eyes, I still feel her hand against my cheek, and the faint warmth of her heart beneath my palm.